I know a speaker who spent 3 days writing a $5,000 proposal, writing, rewriting, second guessing themselves, and they sent it in and didn't hear back, literally heard crickets. And then myself, I put together a similar proposal. It took me 20 minutes and I heard back in less than 24 hours. In today's video, I want to break down to you what makes a really good speaking or consulting proposal and what are the ones that never get picked up because they're so bad. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what makes a bad proposal. Most people lead with proposals by sharing their bio and a whole bunch of information about themselves, and organizations don't care about you. They care about the outcomes and what you can actually bring to the experience. The other thing is that I see proposals that are way too long. You got to think about it. Most decision makers do not have hours to sit down and review your proposal. And the other thing that makes a proposal bad is normally it's something that's generic and it's not customized for the experience that you're going to bring to the company. A bad proposal is basically a resume and very, very generic. The other thing that really makes a bad proposal is literally not providing next steps. You need to be active in this process, not passive. If you're being passive, then they're going to be passive and they're not going to reach back out to you. So let's talk about what makes actually a good proposal. One is going to be the outcomes. People want to know what you're going to actually deliver to their audience. 2 is going to be the fit. Are you the actual consultant that they need to come in and create the change at their organization? 3 is going to be the proof. Do you have testimonials, social proof, or data that shows that you actually know what you're talking about and that you can provide the solutions that you're bringing to your proposal? Number 4 is always going to be the ask. Are you literally asking organizations for the next steps? Whether that is complete this invoice, complete this contract, get on a proposal call for me. Are you making the ask? Because if you're being passive, then they're going to feel like you're not confident. So let me show you how I exactly use AI to build out amazing proposals in less than 20 minutes. So let's get into how to write a great proposal with AI. I'm using Claude AI for my demonstration today. And one of the first things that I would suggest that you do is create a project that's dedicated to your public speaking business. I actually did a video on this recently where I broke down what are the things that you want to include in that project in order to create your own outreach machine. So I will put the link to that video in the description and you can check it out and go through that process as well. But for today, we're going to use my public speaking profile that I've created, which has several files already uploaded into it to make this process a lot easier for us. So what this does is it creates memory for us so that we're able to continue to come back to this and feed it and teach it and make it a better outreach machine for us. So once I have this open and I'm putting together my proposal, I record all of my conversations with decision makers before I put together a proposal. So usually what happens is we get on a call based off of them saying that they're interested in bringing me in for a potential speaking or consulting contract. We get on the call, and on that call, I ask them questions to get to know them. I always start off with what is the potential outcome for the event. I will ask them if they have a budget. I'll ask them if the event went really well, how would their audience leave feeling? All of these questions are being asked, and in the back end, I'm recording the call so I can have the transcripts, but I'm also putting on my AI companion on Zoom. And this captures all of the action steps and the things that we talked about. So I am able to upload that into this document and into this project. Now, for the sake of time for today, I'm going to just use an example. I'm not going to use a literal proposal because I want to protect the confidentiality of myself and my clients. But I did create what you can call kind of like a fake avatar that we're going to be using for today. So we'll use that. And that will be almost like our notes from the call. So let me grab that and then I will post that into it. So we're going to post this into here, copy and paste. So you could copy and paste this, or you could just create a file and upload the file from here. You could also add text, but since this is going to have memory in it and I don't want it to add this to the memory capacity, I'm just going to post it here and let them know that this is a client avatar, right? The client avatar. So I'm going to put that in here and then we're just going to say enter. Now that we're entering that, AI is going to start to work on a speaker brand file for this project and an outreach draft for Marcus. So I'm actually going to stop it because I don't really want it to do that. I want it to do and utilize the prompts that we're going to utilize. So let's get into that. Let's share our first prompt that we're going to utilize in order to build out this proposal in 20 minutes. So the first prompt is we want to paste in our bio and event details, which we would have already done. Like I told you, I have a video that showcases that. Please click the link in the description. But the first one is I'm a professional speaker. Here's my bio. I've been invited to speak at this event, which is for audience description. Their theme is this. Write me a speaking proposal that leads with outcomes for their audience, explains why I'm the right fit, includes a place for a testimonial, and ends with a clear next step. Keep it under 400 words and make it sound human, not corporate. So we're going to grab that prompt so that we can put it in. I'm going to put it here. And we're just going to make up something. Here's my bio. You can find it in the memory of this project. I've been invited to speak at, say, FinCon. I hope I get to speak there, which is an audience for financial educators and content creators. Their theme is make more money. And you'll know this, right? Because you've already had the call and you took notes from your call. So let's see what AI will give us from this. All right, so now it's putting together a proposal for me. Now, what I want to say, and I always say this when we're utilizing AI, y'all, we want to make sure that we read this, that we put this into our own document, spell check it, use Grammarly, because it's only the beginning. We want to start with AI, but we want to always end with us. So it says, most financial educators and content creators are sitting on more expertise than they're getting paid for. The gap isn't knowledge, it's positioning, presence, and ability to communicate value, right? So it's going into what the audience will walk away with. The talk, speak it into profit, how financial education can turn their income and turn their expertise into income. And this is great, y'all, because this is all based off of what I do here at Speaking for Profit. It's breaking down a little bit about me and my bio. It's breaking down some testimonials that they're pulling from my press kit. And it's giving next steps, which is to confirm date of talk and reach out to me via email. So this is a great prompt. What I'm going to do is these prompts will be put into the Profitable Speaker Circle, which is my free community. So if you join that community and you click the link below in the description, just reach out to me and be like, hey, I'm looking for the prompts, and I'll show you exactly where they're located. All right, great. So that's prompt number one, right? But this has already given us a great scope for our proposal, and it's based off of what we've included about the event and also what we included in this project. So let's go on to prompt number two and see how that can support us in going even deeper into this concept. So prompt number two is an opportunity to personalize it to the organization, make it feel written for them, not a template. And this is so important when we're writing great proposals. We want them to feel like it's for them, not like it's just something that we pulled from our menu of offerings. Now rewrite this proposal specifically for this organization. Their mission is their website, paste from their website, adjust the language so it speaks directly to what they care about without changing the core message. So let's go over and let's do a little bit of research. Let's see, FinCon. All right. See if we can find a little bit about their mission. Okay, this seems like FinCon is where money content creators go to learn to grow smart and monetize their business. So we'll go back over here and we'll just put that here so we can grab it when we need it for our next prompt. So let's go back over to the prompt itself and bring that in. So we're going to copy the prompt, put it into Claude, and then we're going to say the organization is FinCon and their mission. We're going to grab that. Put that here, and then we're going to run the play. Now, the great thing about AI is that once you feed it, it will give you great outcomes. But the other thing is you get better with the more that you use it. So if you're using AI right now, tell me what type of platforms you're using. Are you using Claude? Are you using Gemini? Are you using Chat? Go on and put that in the comments. I would love to know what you're using. Or maybe you're using something different. I know I have a client who recently told me that they're using Perplexity, which I've never used before. So maybe it's something new. I would love to hear from you. Put that in the comments below. So let's see what we got. So our prompt was to rewrite it for FinCon. So it's adding in some of that language. Money creators are some of the most knowledgeable people in the room. This is an inspiration, it's infrastructures. Attendees will leave with concrete approach. So let's look like, how is it different from above, right? When we talked about the talk up here, this isn't a mindset talk. That was the first thing that we talked with, right? And when we go down here, this isn't inspiration, it's infrastructure. And the reason they're pulling that is because of the language that we brought in from the mission itself to make it speak directly to FinCon. So it's added in particular language so that it speaks directly to their audience, which is great. And it still kept it under 400 words. Remember, we don't want this to be too lengthy. So let's go on to prompt number 3 and see what we can get from that. Prompt number 3 is to nail the opening line before and after. The opening line can make or break a proposal, which is true. It's similar to your YouTube videos or your content. The hook is the most important. So give me 5 different opening lines for this proposal. Each one should hook the reader in the first sentence by leaving them with a problem their audience faces, not with my name or credentials. We want to lead with that because they already know about us. We've already gotten a conversation with them. We've already talked to them. They know who we are. Now we want to lead with what problem Hmm. Now we want to lead with what problem we can actually solve. We don't want to lead with our credentials. So let's grab this prompt and we'll put it into Claude to see what outcomes we get, or to see what outputs we get. Now let's grab this prompt and put it into Claude and see what output we get. All right, so let's put it here. Let's see. So these are 5 more that we can use, right? Opening lines. The credibility gap. Most money creators aren't losing opportunities because they lack expertise. They're losing them because they haven't learned how to make their expertise feel worth paying for. The platform trap. You can have a growing audience, a solid niche, and content people genuinely love and still don't know how to turn it into consistent income. Y'all, this is so true. And this is very much what I speak about when it comes to speaking for profit. So I love that it's bringing in my language as well. Number 3, the communication breakdown. The financial educators who struggle to monetize aren't missing knowledge. They're missing the language to make people say yes. I love this. So these are amazing. So what I could do is use one of them and rewrite the proposal. So let's say I think I really like number 2. So let's use number 2. And now it's brought that in as the first line so that when the decision maker reads this proposal, that's the first thing that they see. You have a growing audience, a solid niche, and content people genuinely love, and still not know how to turn any of it into consistent income. This session fixes that. An immediate hook that brings them in. This is like something that you can do, y'all. Like, we've been sitting here probably for less than 10 minutes able to put this together. And now that you have these prompts and you have this system, you can recreate this. Like, let's say this is a great template. You could save this and bring it all the way up and put it into the actual files on this side and say, okay, I want to add that as a template because it's something that I want to consistently use. So you can add it to the memory and capacity of this project. But let's go on and move on to prompt number 4, because I know that this one is really going to add some amazing benefits to our proposal. So one thing that we want to prohibit is objections. We want to make sure that we clear those objections up before we submit a proposal. Remember at the beginning of this video, I told you that I had a client who put together a proposal and reworked it 5 or 6 times, rewrote it, sent it to me, sent it in, and still didn't get heard back because they probably didn't think about objections. So here we go. Read through this proposal and tell me the 3 most likely reasons the decision maker will hesitate to say yes. Then suggest one sentence I could add to address each objection without sounding defensive. So we're already thinking about the no, and we're going to turn that into a yes. So let's grab this and see what we can get from this proposal. So let's go on and put it in. All right, so objection number 1, is this actually built for our audience? That might be a question that they have. The proposal is strong, but a financial content creator audience is specific. A decision maker who doesn't know you might wonder if you've actually been in rooms with money creators, or if this is a general speaking framework getting repackaged for their event. Add this after the why Evolve paragraph. Evolve has worked directly with financial educators and content entrepreneurs on pricing, positioning, and monetization. This framework was built in those rooms, not borrowed from them. Objection number 2. Will this be too DEI forward for our crowd? FinCon skews towards business and growth monetization. Your background isn't equity rooted, and that's the strength. But a decision maker scanning quickly might wonder if this session will feel like a cultural conversation where the audience came for a revenue conversation. Add this near the talk description. This session stays focused on business outcomes. The equity lens shows up in who gets practical tools they can use, not in the framing of the room. That's a great point as well. Objection number 3. What's the actual takeaway? The proposal is compelling, but the RISE method mentioned is brief. A decision maker who hasn't heard of it won't know its proven system or name it. You gave a list. They want to feel confident telling their audience this speaker has a real framework. Add this when you introduce the RISE method. The RISE method is a 4-step framework Evolve has used with 2,000 speakers and consultants to move from undercharging and over-explaining to business model that actually scales. So this is great, but the one thing that AI will do is pull everything. So the RISE method is actually not the method that I want to talk about. This is actually a framework that I utilize when it comes to mental health and preventing burnout. So what they want to replace this with is the wealthy speaker method. So AI will do that. It'll hallucinate. It'll bring in things that don't make sense. So I would want to go in and say, hey, we're not using a RISE method. We're actually using the wealthy speaker method in this proposal. So let's do that. Okay, so we'll let them work on that. And then we will go over to our final prompt so that we can move forward and wrap this proposal up. So the final prompt is all about quality control. And if this video has been helpful for y'all are picking up what I'm putting down, go on and put the word money in the comments. Put the word money in the comments, because that's when I see money coming in, it makes me feel abundant. And I hope when you write the word money, it makes you feel abundant. But as we wrap this proposal up, we want to do a final check before we send. So you're going to use this prompt for your final check. Review this proposal and tell me, does it lead with the audience's outcome in mind, or does it lead with the audience's outcome or mine? Is the call to action clear? Does anything sound like it was written by AI? Flag anything that needs to sound more like a real person talking. This is going to change the proposal and really clearly make it primed for the decision maker. So let's bring this prompt in as we finalize the proposal. Asking for clarification on the wealthy speaker method. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to move forward. All right. So does it lead to the audience outcome or yours? Yes, mostly. Opening hook on their problem, not your credentials. That's the right call. That's why Evolve section is where it brief tips towards you, but it earns it by connecting your background directly to what they need. Is the call to action clear? It's clear enough, but it's a little soft. Reach out to confirm details or schedule a quick 20-minute call. Gives 2 options, which creates micro decisions. Pick one. If you want to call, ask for a call. If you want to email, ask for email. This is always good. I always say that if we give our decision makers too many decisions to make, they won't make a decision. So we want to be clear on the call to action at the end of the proposal. Does anything sound like it was AI written? 3 spots. This isn't inspiration, it's infrastructure. This one is actually good. Keep it. The combination means this isn't a talk about hustle. The word combination is doing corporate work here. Where a person would say, this is not a typical speaker profile, and it means this session hits different than a motivational talk. Evolve brings a clinical psychology background, MFA in creative writing. This reads like a bio pool, is technically accurate, but it lands flat in the middle proposal. Needs one human detail to make it feel lived. Want me to take a pass at the full proposal with all the fix. So now they're asking me if they can fix it. Yes, you can. All right, so now they've tightened it up and given us our full proposal. So what we want to do with this, y'all, is we want to copy this and put it into a Word document and still bring it in and add in our own specific needs and outcomes. Now, let me show you this really quickly. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to actually bring it into a Word document because I want to share with you why I say you need to not copy directly from AI. You need to also read through it and add your own aspects to it. So when I copy this over into Google Doc, I'm using Grammarly. You can see here on the right-hand side, there's already 4 things that Grammarly is suggesting as far as with the grammar and with probably some spelling errors. So we always want to do that because Grammarly is going to pick that up for us. But then we also want to just read through. Like one thing that I think is always telling is all of these M dashes. Oh, they're so annoying to me. So another thing you could do is you can go over here and you could say, please take out all the M dashes. This reads like AI, right? And they'll clean it up and give you a version without the M dashes. So then you can grab that. And then you can come back over and copy and paste that into it. It's still going to pick up those errors. So we want to go through and also spell check and do the grammar checks with Grammarly and read through and make sure that it sounds like something that we want to send. So now we've had the opportunity to utilize Claude to bring together a proposal in less than 20 minutes. I want you to tell me in the comments below if you're going to utilize this because I think this could be great for you and great for your business. So now that I've broken down for you how to put together a solid proposal using AI, I want to know in the comments, what are the steps that you're going to take with you so that you can secure your next bag? The other thing is that you might be watching this and you're like, Evolve, I would love more information on how to set up my own system to make this process a lot easier. I want you to join my community, the Profitable Speaker Circle. We would love to welcome you. It's a free space. We have monthly Q&As and an opportunity for you to understand more on how to use AI to secure high-paid speaking and consulting contracts. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for using your most valued resource with me, which is your time. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this with someone else who is spending way too much time on proposals. See you in the next video.